And we're back. We're back to talk about a little bit of football, just the football stories in general.
It's the devil, Baba Boucher.
This morning was the kind of the conclusion or the sum up, however you want to word it, the official legal ruling for Deflategate. Basically, Tom Brady's been acquitted of all charges and will be playing week 1. He beat the NFL. He beat Roger Goodell, which we've gone back and forth on this before. I didn't see what the big deal was. He thought it was more of a deal. I think it's more because you don't like the Patriots or Tom Brady more than you think he was actually guilty.
It doesn't really matter whether he's guilty or innocent. My point was that if you are the quarterback of the team, and throwing a football is what you do, you should be able to tell the difference, one. And two, don't fuck with people who prepare your food. Like, I have to think in the back of my head that he treated these guys like shit, and that's the whole reason that they're like, all right, we'll get him. If indeed it was them of themselves and not him at all, like, you don't treat those people like shit. You treat them really good. That's why Peyton Manning buys his offensive line steak dinners, because he doesn't want to lay on his back and lay on the ground. Same goes with the guys at Best Football. You don't fuck with them, man. Just don't fuck with them. You want to be an arrogant prick, but put on your pretty boy face for the rest of the world? Whatever, that's fine. But that is going to come back to haunt you. Hence this whole past 200 some odd days of bullshit that you put us through.
See, my whole issue with it was, first off, if you haven't read the Walls report, there's so many holes in that, which is why this has got thrown away in the court of law. There's so many holes in it. One hole was, I'll go through some very briefly, as brief as I can. One of the holes was, first off, the rule that says that you can't have the football at a certain weight or whatever is more of a guideline. It's not a strict rule. It says to your comfort level. So there's not a strict rule saying that it has to be this or this. There is now. They've changed that. And they're going to start weighing the balls right before the game kicks off. Second, they weighed the balls at halftime after the game. Or at halftime of the game, the AFC Championship game. And they used two different needles, or pressure gauges. And they checked both the Patriots balls and the Colts. Now, one of them had the Colts balls and the Patriots balls perfect. They were fine. They were legal. The other one had 11 of the 12 balls from the Patriots underinflated, but they also had half of the balls from the Colts underinflated. So if you're going to punish the Patriots for that, why aren't the Colts getting punished? Okay? The third thing that got thrown out in the court was the 4-game suspension was astronomically just overkill. The Minnesota Vikings got an $80,000 fine. They were heating their balls up. They were literally putting them someplace warm because they didn't play in their usual dome. They had to play at Minnesota University.
Yeah, outside field.
Yeah, because they were fixing it. So they were heating the ball up to keep it warm and able for the quarterback to hold it because Teddy Bridgewater has a smaller hand, which is illegal. They got an $80,000 fine. That's tampering with the football. That's trying to get an unfair advantage. So why is that different than what, quote, Tom Brady or the Patriots have done? That's my other reason. And the third thing is, and I'm going to ask you this, is if Tom Brady is culpable in this, and he said, I want the balls below regulation or whatever, I personally think I always said was, guys, put it at the lower end of regulation to where it's comfortable for me. And they probably did that, and one time they underinflated it once, and they grabbed it, it's like, that's perfect. And they didn't realize it was underinflated, so they just put it at that every time. I'm guessing that's how it happened. That's my guess. I'm pretty sure Tom Brady did not intentionally break the rule. And there's a story that Skip Bayless, I heard him say, that where he explained this to him. This is actually documented by their officials. Because he held it one game, it was way overinflated. And he could barely grip the football. And he actually went to officials and went to the guys and said, what is the limit on this? And he actually looked up the rule. And he said, I want the ball at the lowest end of this. And he actually said that to the referees because he wanted the chance to change the air pressure at halftime. And he asked the referee to do that, which you can do with the referee supervision. And he did do that. My issue is, why is it Tom Brady? Do you honestly think it's a horrible, heinous thing that if the ball was underinflated? Do you think it's the worst thing in the world? Is him underinflating the ball the exact same? I didn't put that away. It's done. Is it the exact same punishment, or should it have the same punishment as Greg Hardy, who beat the shit out of his girlfriend choke slammed her onto like a bed full of guns and drug money. Allegedly. But okay, he was convicted, but it went through the appeals court and she didn't show up because he paid her off.
Well, it doesn't matter why she didn't.
But he was
show
technically
up.
still convicted.
He was exonerated.
But there's actual evidence of that. There's a police report. There's everything. Do you think? Okay, Ray Rice got suspended for 8 games. Do you think that, now it's 4 games, but it's 8 games now. But before that, it was supposed to be 4. Do you think him beating up his wife or whatever should receive the same punishment of Tom Brady, who maybe or may not have possibly known that the ball was underinflated? Do you think that's a culpable punishment compared to what those guys do off the field and how they're breaking the law and stuff like that?
I don't know. But the one thing that no one likes to argue is the fact that in the NFLPA and the rules that they decided, it doesn't say that they have to have ironclad proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
It also says
just says that you got to be able to make a legitimate argument. That has nothing to do with beyond a shadow of a doubt.
No, the reason why he quote got the 4-game suspension is because of his lack of cooperation. His lack of cooperation was actually influenced by the Players Association. You cannot hand over your phone, because if Tom Brady was to hand over his phone, then in any instant in the future, all players have to hand over their phone. And they didn't want to set that kind of precedent for the commissioner to be able to just ask for your phone, because there's private things on there, and they didn't want to violate player privacy.
That's all well and good, but my thing is, there it is. I got nothing on there. I got some naked pictures of Giselle, but that's about it. Done. There. Take a look.
No,
I'm innocent. This is how innocent
by the
I
Players
am.
Association can't do that.
This is how innocent I am. There's my phone. Take it.
If you're instructed,
look at the text. Here, let me bring it up for you, because that's exactly what they asked him to do.
He can't even do that with the Players Association.
But they asked. They didn't force the issue. That's what you're missing.
They also didn't say if you don't show this, you're going to get suspended for 4 games.
They asked.
Timeout.
No timeout. Let me fucking finish. They sat there with his agent in tow and said, will you let us see the conversations with these 2 individuals? This is what we want to see. That's all that's pertinent to the case. Can we see that? And all they wanted Tom to do was turn on his phone, bring up the appropriate conversations, hand the phone to his agent so his agent could regurgitate that to the people doing the Wells report. That's all they were asking. They didn't ask, give me your phone, give me your SIM card, give me your life. That's all I want. They just said, will you read what's on his phone to us so that we aren't taking his phone? That's very reasonable. That would be me. You, someone I trust. We're being investigated right now. You need to read every text on Chad's phone to us from Mike Schweitzer. Okay, there it is. There's nothing on there. I'm not worried about it. That's not stealing someone's phone. That's not breaching it. It's not looking at the naked pictures of his wife that he keeps on there or his girlfriends or whatever. There's no violation of trust or confidence whatsoever at all. It's your agent. He already knows all your shit because he's the one that's got to clean up after you when you fuck up anyway. I see absolutely no problem with that.
Can I counter this?
You can counter it all you want, but that exchange, there was nothing illegal about it. There was nothing to set any precedent about it. They wanted to see the relating material, but they didn't want to see it for themselves. They were trusting you.
First off, you're going off the findings of the Wells report, which was discredited in the court of law. So for all we know, he didn't word it the way as you nicely stated. I just let me show me what's relative. I will not swipe through your phone. I will just read it. I will just print screen it and just read it. I will not go anything on your phone. You assume that
you're saying that as Ted Wells.
No, I'm not. That's what you said. Ted Wells said to him that he wanted this information.
No, Ted Wells said, bring up the pertinent conversation, hand it to your agent. Your agent can then read it to me. Read it to me. Not show it to me. Read it to me.
But the first thing is Ted Wells' report was thrown out in the court of law because Ted Wells' report says it's more probable than not. If you ask out a woman,
the report wasn't thrown out.
I'll let you finish. Could you let me finish?
No.
If you ask out
was deleted. That's all that happened.
If you ask out a woman to ask a woman out, let's go out Friday night. She says, more probable than not, I might go out with you. How confident are you in that answer?
I'm either going out or I'm not. I'm not too worried either way.
Yeah, well, okay, so Tom Brady did or didn't do it. It's still 50-50 probability. That's the first thing. Second thing, if you have, let's say you are Tom Brady and I'm the ball boy guy, If he texted me and I handed my phone over to the NFL, why do you need Tom Brady's? All the messages are in here. That's what you're forgetting, is both the guys that apparently handle the footballs, both, I can't think of the guy's name, the actual ball boy and his manager, the guy who was ahead of him, they both had their phones with the same text message that Tom Brady had in it. So why does it matter if Tom Brady hands his over when all the messages are in this phone and in the other guy's phone? Well, all they did was hand theirs over. They had no players association, so they had to hand theirs over.
That would have been cooperating. Like, if whatever's in that phone is also in this phone.
Then why do you need that phone? That's my point. That's the point Tom Brady said in court. That he got a lot of shit for, quote, destroying his phone. He just got a new phone. He got an upgrade. He got a lot of crap for destroying his phone. He didn't need to destroy his phone. All the text messages that he had sent to these guys are in their phones. So why do you need his? Do you understand my point now? That was the big thing in court.
You can have that point. I'm just saying, if you're innocent, you have nothing to hide.
If you're innocent, you have nothing to show either. If you don't believe you've done nothing wrong, you shouldn't. I'm just saying, if you believe you've done nothing wrong, you shouldn't have to yell and scream from the top of the world. He had to, because he didn't think he did anything wrong to begin with.
Yeah, but now he's done nothing, regardless of whether he was guilty or innocent. Now, if you're not a Patriots fan and you always kind of were on the fence about, well, Tom Brady's not a bad guy, now you think he's a little crybaby.
He's always been a little crybaby.
I mean, now you think he's a little. I mean, literally, he has an NFL rule named after him, the Brady Tuck rule, which is bullshit anyway. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Is that his fault?
He has done absolutely nothing for his image to help him. Yes,
I thought he's done a lot for his image.
He
defeated the NFL. That's not a lot of people can say they did that.
It's not over. Watch it. It's not.
We'll see.
Watch it.
But he'll be playing week 1. And games ain't matter.
The 4-game suspension is the only thing that was waived. The judge made a ruling saying pretty much that the 4-game suspension was unfair. That's the ruling.
Because anyone else who's done anything similar to this, any kind of ball tampering, has not gotten anything close to 4 games.
Yes, but that's all the judge said. The judge did not say, Tom Brady, you are exonerated of all charges. Go away. This is done. That's not what the judge said. The judge took what was in the NFLPA, took what evidence they did or did not have against him, and said, A.
You mean the Wells report?
Yeah, the Wells report. Okay, A, this isn't close enough. That's not cutting it. And B, the suspension is too heavy of a penalty for this grievance. That's all the judge said. The judge did not say, Tom Brady, go free. You are innocent.
Well, technically he is free. I don't think he cares about a $50,000 fine. If he does that, all that's going to happen is they're going to give him a pay increase or create an incentive bonus in his contract to get it back. Throw a touchdown next game, we'll give you $50,000. Oh, look, your fine's paid.
Well, the NFL would have been farther ahead to punish Tom Brady by just saying, you owe us $1.2 million, which we did 4 weeks out.
Well, they already lost 2 draft picks. Okay, they already lost 2 draft picks. His reputation is tarnished badly, poorly tarnished. And I'm just telling you that they have a players' association for a reason. If the players' association, if one player decides to hand over their phones, especially of a high caliber like Tom Brady, he is, quote, the golden boy, the golden child of the league, and he decides to hand over his phone, that creates a precedent for future investigations where, oh, Tom Brady handed over his phone, you should hand it over too. That's what a lot of people don't understand is once a precedent is created, look in legal right now. Plessy versus Ferguson or Brown versus Board of Ed. Plessy versus Ferguson made separate but equal. Brown versus Board of Ed debunked that. It's not separate, it's unconstitutional. Now that's the precedent. So it's very simple. I understand it's more corporate than it actually is like civil rights and stuff. But it's the same thing. It's similar.
Then there's no difference because if the NFL can force Marshawn Lynch to have a conversation when he does not want to have a conversation, they can also turn around and say, I want your cell phone when you don't want to give me your cell phone.
No, the conversation he has is it's about football. They're not forcing him to talk about his private life. They're forcing him to talk about the football game and answer questions based on the football game. And it's in his contract. And he's reaping the benefits of getting commercials. He's reaping the benefit of getting money transferred, gone to his foundation to help in inner city Oakland. He does all those things to do that, but he uses the media as a propaganda tool to get that. But he can't help the NFL gain a little bit more notoriety and a little bit more popularity.
You think it needs a little bit more?
It does, especially with your. For example, if you work in the media and your boss wants, I need you to get some quotes on from Marshawn Lynch for this paper this week. We need it. It's a hot topic right now. And he says nothing. You're screwing over the media, and the media is the ones that help you get money.
The media who will take anything you say and twist it to their own evil devices in order to make
That's the media's job. That is the media's job.
No, their job is to report. Their job is not to spin.
I hope that Marshawn Lynch in like 10 years is flat broke. And then when he'll come back and bitch and complain that he doesn't have any money because the NFL took it from him because he wouldn't talk. It is in your contract. Why is he different than anyone else in the NFL that he doesn't have to talk to the media? Because that is his responsibility.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. You made him a role model. He didn't make him.
I didn't make him a role model. I'm just saying that's his job. It's in his contract.
I'd have to read over the contract.
The contract, every NFL player says you have media obligations that you must fulfill. It's in every contract. Some players don't have to do it because they don't want to talk to the offensive tackle.
Why would he be flat broke because he didn't talk to the media?
Because he keeps getting fined. He keeps getting fined. So if he keeps getting fined every $20,000 every week because he refuses to talk to the media, that's going to add up eventually. And honestly, I think they're coming down with a new rule actually that if you continuously don't talk to the media, the fine doubles up every time. So let's say that week 1 is $10,000. Week 2 it's $10,000 or $20,000. Week 3 is $40,000. Then it's $80,000. I hope they do that. I really do.
Marshawn, don't punish yourself. When you come out, say either yes or no and leave it.
That's all he has to do. Is it that hard?
Just do that.
Is it that hard?
You're still going to be pissed off because you're not getting anything from the media about him. As
long as the answer is just they ask him a question based on the game. What did you see on this run where you broke it loose for 40 yards?
I saw this.
What did you see on this run when you broke it loose for 40 yards? Well, I saw the linebacker come up, and no one was playing on the outside, so I bolted outside real quick. I stiff-armed, and that's what broke the – that's all I have to say.
I read between the lines. Marshawn, you be Marshawn. Be Marshawn. It's good to have somebody different in there that's not going to cower and cater to them.
No, you have to.
Because the media is evil.
They're your job. They're your bosses.
The media is not your bosses.
If your boss says you need to talk to the media, then
Pete Carroll's never going to tell him to do
it's not Pete Carroll. It's the owner. First off, in the league, the whole league is a whole congregation of owners, and all other players have to do it. You think Tom Brady wants to go talk to the media?
Oh, he loves talking to the media.
No, he doesn't. He's the biggest yes man out there. He's always very PC and politically correct. He never says anything out of the line.
He loves looking at the media.
You think Bill Belichick likes talking to the media? Come on, I got you there.
He doesn't talk to the media. He absolutely does not talk to the media. He comes out and be like, well, we're practicing as hard as we can, and we're going to have it figured out.
Yeah, and he does exactly what Marshawn Lynch should do.
As hard as we can. Well, like literally, the last 4 weeks, you could just run the same loop of Bill Belichick talking over and over again because that's all he said. Well, we're concentrating on week 1. We're practicing as hard as we can. That's literally all he said for life.
I have no issue with that. At least he's talking to the media. He's doing his obligation. He would rather just not, but he still does it because that's the rule. Okay, we need to move on from this topic.
This is what Robert Kraft gets.
Why?
This is what Robert Kraft gets.
Why?
This is what he gets.
He doesn't get anything wrong.
He's the one who backed Roger Goodell to be God. He pushed for it and pushed for it with the NFLPA. Roger Goodell became God. God got angry with the quote-unquote Jesus Christ of the NFL. And then Robert Kraft got pissed off because God wasn't doing what he wanted God to do because he thought he was in charge of Roger. And Roger said, no, you are not. And I actually would have to go out on a limb right now and say this is more of a power play of Roger Goodell trying to put Robert Kraft in his place than it had anything to do with Tom Brady to begin with. Would you agree?
No, I would not. I think it was Roger Goodell trying to fix his image after the whole mishandling of like Greg Hardy, the Ray Rice incident, all those things. The way he mishandled that, and explain to me how he can't get a hold of the TMZ video of Ray Rice punching his wife or his ex-wife.
But everyone else can. Yeah.
But everyone else can. Explain that.
But there is proof that it was sent to the office, so that kind of bails out.
So either you ignored the video, didn't watch it, or you watched it and said this isn't that bad. And then when everyone watched, like, oh shit, I fucked that one up. How'd this get out, or whatever?
Ronda Rousey could have taken that punch.
Probably. Ronda Rousey would beat the shit out of Ray Rice.
He'd have been dead. Ray Rice would have been a stain on the wall, just like Floyd Mayweather.
Okay, we need to move on from this. We just spent 20 minutes almost on that topic. That is what happens. But it was a good conversation.
It was.
I won, so.
No, you didn't.
Redskins are next topic, just like 5 minutes.
Just because you said that, you automatically lost.
No, I put a comma. Redskins, there's so much turmoil. I don't know where to start.
His favorite team.
Yeah, my favorite team. Hey, at least I own my favorite team, man. I know a lot of people that jump ship every time their team starts sucking. I never said you. I said other people.
Still here. Still here.
I'm going to tell you a story. When I was like in middle school and like elementary school and even high school, I never heard Steeler fans bragging about being Steeler fans until they won 2 Super Bowls. I'm honest. Well, they have 6 now. I'm talking like in the last 10 years or whatever.
Honestly, if you...
I'm just being honest. I never heard anyone brag about it until they won the Super Bowl, or they won the Super Bowl with Ben Roethlisberger.
There's nothing more annoying than either A passionate Baltimore fan in this area, or B, a passionate Steeler fan in this area. Because sitting in a bar with those 2 individuals watching a game is the most annoying experience of your life. Because it's not about, oh, well, he screwed up. He shouldn't have dropped that ball. It'll be better next time. It's all about, that motherfucker was cheating. He was fucking owned. Didn't you see him fucking owned? Like, it's so tense. It's so unpleasant. Like, I almost want to be a Redskins fan because nobody cares. Like, nobody cares. You guys are passionate about your team, but you're not all up in everyone else's shit about it. When something gets fucked up on your team, you're like,
have I ever...
Damn it, that dude should have caught that ball. What the hell's with the butterfingers?
5 years, 4 years? Have I ever deterred from liking my Redskins, win or lose?
No, but the thing that makes you pleasant, like I could actually sit there and watch a Green Bay or a Pittsburgh Washington game with you, is you're not that guy. You're not that motherfucker was holding the whole time from the line, fucking pouncing, blah, blah. Like, you don't get like that. You're passionate about your team, but you're not that asshole passionate the way the Steelers and the Ravens fans are in this area. They're fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Seriously fucking annoying, and I hate it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I prefer to see Dallas win over the Steelers. Just throwing that out there.
I would rather stab my leg with a penknife.
Okay, anyway, Redskins. I still think RG3 just needs to start. Let him start. If he's done, he's done. If not, he's not. I hate for us to trade him because the Redskins always do this. They always get rid of a quarterback or someone, and then they go on and they're very successful. They're very successful. For example, Trent Green went on to Kansas City and went 14-2 like 3 straight years. Very good team. Brad Johnson went on to win a Super Bowl. So we always do that. We'll get rid of a player and then they go somewhere else and they're freaking incredible. Like Champ Bailey. It's a great example. Get rid of Champ Bailey and he goes to Denver and has a great career. Just dumb stuff like that. So let RG3 play out. If he sucks, he sucks. And then we can move on with every question answered. Right now there's still no questions answered. Play to his strengths. See what he can do when you play to his strengths. Get him mobile a little bit. Don't run him every play. Just get him mobile. There's a difference between being a mobile quarterback and being a running quarterback. Russell Wilson is a mobile quarterback. He can roll out. He can run if he needs to. Then he gets down and slides. A running quarterback is someone you rely heavily, like Tim Tebow, would be a running quarterback because he can run a lot and he can take more beating. And that's the kind of quarterback he is.
I still think he should be a tight end. But anyway.
But Redskins, just let him play. If Kirk Cousins comes out and does great this year, fine. But here's what's going to happen. Apparently the Eagles are interested in RG3. Just think about it. Imagine RG3 running that offense with his speed. They ran that offense with Nick Foles and Mark Sanchez last year, and they're not mobile. They can't run.
That's the one thing that I'm actually going to agree with ESPN on this week. Is it's not so much RG3 is an athletic specimen. He is beast. He can do a lot. The one thing I don't think he can do is manage a game.
Well, yeah, he's not a game manager.
He's not
a game
that
breaker.
guy.
He's a game breaker.
He could break it wide open if the right circumstances happen.
Well,
but as far as him marching guys down the field,
I don't think he can.
That's
not a game manager. A game manager is someone who just hands the ball off and then on third down he'll throw if he has to. Like Alex Smith last year was a game manager.
I just don't see it, dude. He's explosive. He can be amazing at times, but just like looking at his body of work. And say what you will about the offensive line and whether or not he bought mistakes that week, it doesn't matter. It doesn't feel to me like if he was sitting in the pocket and I knew I needed that 4th down drive to win the game, I'm not sure if he could put it together unless the defensive line allowed a hole big enough for him to run through. That's the only thing. It's just because there's not enough people scared enough of him for the deep ball that they're not going to give him that space. You know what I mean? I just don't think he's that guy.
There is, because you have Deshaun Jackson now who has that deep ball threat all the time. And my issue with that is his rookie year, he did that numerously. His rookie year, we only lost one game on more than 8 points, or more than a touchdown. And that was the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we lost that game by 10. His rookie year with the same shitty team. And there's another podcast we went over this.
I know he had
I've
rookie
seen
of
him
the year,
do that many times. Okay, I've seen him win that year so many times.
Dude, he's your boy. Defend him. I'm just saying. I just don't think I can rely on that guy to be the man. I don't know if he's got it in there.
If you go into your job, and when you go into your job, you're automatically there, and you just think they don't believe I can do my job. How are you going to perform your job?
I'm not saying he's got to come out and say he sucks. I appreciate the statement of him thinking
them. I'm talking about them, the people he works for. If you walk into your job and you have no faith that the people you work for are going to A, believe you can do the job, and B, put you in a situation where you can be best at your job, how are you going to approach your job? Just be honest with me on that. How would you approach? I know you're supposed to just do your job anyway, because you have to act like God's your boss anyway. But how are you going to approach your job whenever you walk in your job and immediately you have the feeling of everything's against you because they're not going to help you get to where you need to go, and they're going to put you in the worst possible situation to get there?
I'm going to give you a maybe on that, but I find it hard that two coaches.
Mike Shanahan.
Two coaches, two general managers later, and
hold on. It's the same general manager. Bruce Allen is actually still there. He's just now the captain.
Okay, well, but I mean, I just find it hard to believe that you're going through two coaches, you're shifting some personnel around the front office to try to clear the air. Dan Snyder's actually like, okay, fuck it, I don't know, and we're still in the same funk. Like it seems to me that if maybe this was the problem, let's clear it out.
The issue is,
maybe this is the problem, let's put this guy here. Well, maybe the problem is me as the owner. I need to step back. I can't be Jerry Jones. I want to do this.
We talked about this earlier. That's where the main issue starts.
But the problem is still there. I mean, like you said earlier, they built a hell of a team around him.
Well, I mean, that defense was good in preseason. That defense is flying. I mean, I know it's just preseason, but they're flying around. Like, they weren't doing that last year. It was solo tackles or nothing. This defense is flying around. Them and the Eagles look really good in preseason.
I'm playing Miami all week.
I understand. That's fine.
I don't have a lot of faith in Kirk Cousins either. But I feel bad for the Redskins. I really do, because it doesn't seem like they could get anything together. I mean, the joke was punish Tom Brady by letting him play for them for 4 weeks. I don't even know if he could have pulled it together. I think it would have been a 2-2 team after week 4. I think it would have been a 2-2 team. I just don't know, man. They're just completely messed up. And I feel bad for them because it shouldn't be like it. It's football. Go play football. That's all you have to do is go play football. But like he said, when you ain't got the support of everyone around you, how are you going to do your job?
You don't have the support of everyone. I think he has support of a portion of his teammates.
Yeah, but not a large enough portion, because even Ryan Clark said like RG3 wasn't buddy with really anybody.
That's because he's not that. He explained this very well. He eloquently explained it very well. RG3 is a military kid. This means he moved around a lot. So he never learned to get acclimated with people, because he usually never had a chance to really stay and be acclimated with people. So he just learned to be all about business. And that's the way he is all about business. He's not like that go out and be so. I'm guessing this is the way Ryan Clark put it.
But the thing that hurt RG3 the most
is his injury.
Well,
to be fair.
Well, never mind the injury. Not so much him physically, but his reputation on the team is the limo rides with the boss. That doesn't look good with the guys when they're sitting there waiting on a bus and you're jumping in the limo with the boss. Like, that just isn't going to sit well with your boys. That was just a bad choice on your half, because you could have waved at Dan and been like, no, man, I need to be with my guys. And I understand part of that being the military upbringing and whatnot, but that's my perspective. That's what poisons you, because then you're putting yourself in a position, and whether he did it knowingly or not, or whether he was just trying to be gracious to the owner, it doesn't matter. You put yourself in that position to where you've elevated yourself above your team, and you can't do that. You have to be here unless you're like Peyton Manning or Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. Then you can be up here all you want, because these guys, they want to get with you. They're going to die trying to get up there on your plateau. And I'm sorry, RG3, you just weren't that dude, man. Sorry. I don't hate him. That's just the way I see it. I told you it was going to take a while to get that Redskins thing out.
It wasn't that long. It's only been like 7 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. It's only been 7 minutes. Okay, well, we'll end it there. I'm sure we'll have more to comment on as the season progresses.
Oh, it's not like they're not going to give us headlines.
JJ Watt was voted the number 1 player in the NFL this year. Now, I heard Skip Bayless say yesterday that he disagrees with that. And I was going to make my own video, but I thought I'd just talk to you about it. He says that JJ Watt is not the best player in the league this year. He doesn't understand how it's rated. I don't understand. I don't know how it was voted. I thought it was voted by the players in the Players Association. Like all the players, active players voted. Apparently, it was like 70 journalists voted on all this. I know, but some are ex-players. So, but he says that he's not. Is he like a top greatest defensive lineman of all time? No. He says no. He says, is he a top this and this and this? His impact on the team, is it enough to get them at least in the playoffs? And his playoff record is really bad, 2-2, and they haven't made the playoffs the last 2 years. They were 2-14 last year. This year they were 7-9. So he gave all these reasons, and I think he's missing the whole point.
I can't blame J.J. Watt for what is around J.J. Watt.
First off, as much as the defensive lineman he is a good player, you can't impact the game as much as like LT could. When LT played, it was more of a running style. It didn't pass as much, and he was a linebacker. And a linebacker can influence the game because you can tackle anywhere.
You were allowed to hit people.
Yeah, well, you're allowed to tackle anywhere too. You can run and chase the guy down the backfield more. With the new style of the NBA or the NFL, where it's spread out more, you have more passing flags. It's different because, perfect example is Jadeveon Clowney's last year in college, and he was getting a lot of slack for him not trying. But all he had to do was run away from him because he's a defensive end. All you had to do is run away from him. You can't make any tackles if you're running away from him.
Fucking hit on that dude from Michigan.
Dude, that was the most overblown play ever. He wasn't even touched. No one touched him. Okay, but he wasn't. The reason why J.J. Watt is number one is not because he is the best player in the league. Not because he impacts the game more than anyone else. Because, let's be honest, who has the most impact on games? Usually quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have a quarterback, you're looking for one. You can have a bad defense and a great quarterback, and you're still going to win football games. It happens. Peyton Manning.
Dan
Marino. Another example. Aaron Rodgers. His defense isn't bad, but it's not great.
They're mediocre usually.
They're mediocre, and they're in the NFC Championship game almost every year now.
Consistently.
Patriots are another example. They don't have great talent, but they're always consistent because they're well coached. But they have Tom Brady.
Well, that and they have a quarterback that can win a game.
Exactly. So, J.J. Watt, being at the position he is, he can't influence the game, but is he, at his job, how far away from being better than the next closest person is he at his job? He is astronomically better than anyone else at his job.
Any other,
The gap, if this is the gap between Rodgers and Tom Brady, okay? Whichever one you think, I think Aaron Rodgers is a little bit better because he's more mobile.
Yeah.
But that's the gap.
Yeah.
This is the gap between J.J. Watt and, let's say, Ndamukong Suh. Because Ndamukong Suh is very good, but Ndamukong Suh, they don't switch him to defensive end. They don't make him play linebacker. They only make him go to offense and help. He does all these things to improve his team, and he does them all without an issue. He never has off-the-field controversy, so on and so forth. That's the difference here. Is the next best guy at your position, how far are you away from him when it comes to how good you are?
He's a charity monster, but just talk about on-field stuff. Take anyone else designated at his singular position in the entirety of the NFL and put him in as a tight end. I guarantee he'll never be as productive as J.J. Watt would be at that position.
Well, I'm just defensive tackle. Who's the best defensive tackle I've ever had? Ndamukong Suh. Would you agree with that? Probably. He's up there. He's up there.
Yeah. Well, he's pretty much the best at that singular position without being put anywhere else. But you take the fact that J.J. Watt is here, he's here. Like, literally, I'm pretty sure you can put him back at safety and he would do okay.
I would say he'd be a great standing outside linebacker. He'd be a great outside linebacker.
Yeah, I can do that.
So you can put him anywhere and he is successful, and he's still the best at that position when he does it. When he plays defensive tackle on like a 1st and 10, you can't block him. He'll disrupt a double team, he'll split it, and he'll make a tackle in the backfield. On a passing down, they'll put him on the outside. You can't block him on the edge. Guard, tackle, no one can block him. And the only way to stop him is to double team him, or you got to chop block him.
Or you take the fucker and put him in as a tight end. I want to see him put him in as a running back on a goal line stance this year.
They can't because of his number. The number on his back. I would like to see that too, but I think because of the number on his back, you are ineligible to be in the backfield, except for maybe as a fullback. They could. They might be able to
flip it out to him, and then he can just
maybe. But so that is why J.J. Watt is the best. Now, if you look at like corners, like for example, Richard Sherman and Darrelle Revis, it's right there. It's that close. Yeah. Those are the two best. Okay. Quarterbacks, two best. Two best receivers in the league, right there. JJ Watt and whoever else you pick is the second best. That's how different it is. And he averages 20 sacks a year. Great tackler. As bad as that defense was, he led them to 7 and 9. Plus, he had more touchdowns as a defensive player last year. What? 3 receiving touchdowns. But he also had an interception return and a fumble.
Well, but I was just counting about the offensive side.
Oh, okay. He had more receiving touchdowns than any receiver on the Kansas City Chiefs last year. So.
And that's why I drafted their kicker.
Okay, so we agree on J.J. Watt. You understand my take on J.J. Watt.
I love the dude. He's a great guy. He's great for charity. He's great for life. He's great for everybody.
What's his attitude whenever he got re-signed? What's his attitude when he got re-signed? He didn't hold out. He's like, why would I hold out? I need to be there for my teammates. Can get my young guys, rookies.
He's a big picture individual.
Like him, I would love to see him and Tim Tebow on the same team. That would be something to see. Can you imagine how inspired that team would be? Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That would be a team.
That would really. And not to jump off another bus here, but if you would take Noshawn Moreno and put him on that same team as a backup running back, as emotional and passionate as he is about football and family and charity and everything.
I would take Forte, because Forte did the same thing J.J. Watt did, and he has good character.
Well, but so does Noshawn Moreno. Of course, I don't think he's playing this year.
Anymore,
I don't think he's playing this year. But he was just a really passionate, endearing dude. And same with Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, he's getting along.
Oh yeah, that's another one to throw there.
A very passionate, endearing human being. Like when he's on those commercials for Phoenix University, he's doing it because he wants to do it. He's not doing it. He's getting paid. Let's not mistake that. He's definitely getting paid. But he's doing that because he wants to do it. It's not about the paycheck. It's about getting the word out. And he's a sincere, honest man.
I think I just found our topic for next week.
Are we going to build a team of super nice individuals?
We're going to build a team that's going to have the best character.
Offense and defense?
We'll just do main positions.
There's 22 people in the NFL that actually give a shit.
Just pick main positions. You can build a defense. You can pick like J.J. Watt and J.J. Watt's probably on both of our teams, so we'll just go with that.
Well, actually, we're just going to build this thing collectively.
Okay.
Because trying to come up.
You're not coming down tomorrow, are you?
No.
Okay.
Maybe Saturday.
Maybe. Actually, I leave for Virginia Saturday night. I work 12 to like 8. 12 to 9.
Well,
that's how busy we are.
I wanted to give Marissa more money for what she's done for my baby over the past few months, and it seemed kind of odd to call her over to the house later and just give her money. So I just figured I'd just drive up, make her serve me, and then tip the shit out of her.
Nice. Okay. By the way, can I be fun? Real quickly, we're going to talk about 2 things. Fantastic Four. And then we're done. I'm going to jump to it real quick. And